Hey, it's Andre, and it's time for another little update. So, equipment came in this week. Canada Post has been working overtime near the end of the season, but everything's arrived, and that includes the top secret Christmas gift, which you won't see till the 25th of December. But parts. Finally, a new 2826 motor came in for the Wraith. The other one, the can is bent, and the shaft is bent in multiple spots. So I said, that's it, that motor's done. I'll use it on something that isn't FPV related so I don't get a lot of jello in the video. My order from Fat Shark showed up, and what I picked up from them was a whole new, what they're calling now the V1, the Pilot HD version 1 camera. That's $15 US with the cable and a little cloth. So this is just like the same one that came in my Teleporter 3 set. So now I'm going to have a full brand new camera, and for $5, what I thought was just going to be a simple card to replace the blown out power unit on the other camera, which fried with the OSD burnout, is actually the whole camera. This thing that was $5, and that's the whole unit. So I'm going to take the shell from the other one, including the lens and the hard case, do a hardware swap, the internal hardware swap, put this guy in, and I've already flashed him to NTSC and tested it, and yeah, I'm gonna have two cameras. So in theory I could do some switching if I set them both up on a 5-volt bus so they have adequate power. And both of them are SD cards. You know, they're probably a little better than my wing cam as far as resolution, but I'll put this thing on the gimbal and have the full setup on the Bixler very soon. Actually, speaking of that, the Bixler right now has all the hardware off the Wraith, the OSD, the camera, and it does have the T1000 autopilot, or the flight controller, I should say. So this weekend, that plane is going to go out, and we're going to do some FPVing around the park, and we'll just do some range testing and everything. I'm still humming and hawing about what to do with the T1000. My suspicion is it's going to live primarily on the Wraith, which is a lot easier to access. Inside the Bixler, it's rather cramped inside that port, and with the Bixler, it's one of those things, like, the return to home is nice to have, and if I decide to spring another $90 Canadian after shipping because the Canadian dollar's tanking, I probably will pick up another one because it's just that peace of mind building a flick switch, or if the link drops on the radio, to be able to set a failsafe that it will engage and, you know, kind of loiter and try and come back on its own. So that is nice to have, to be honest. Even if I'm only within a half-kilometer range in the park I fly, it's just a little extra security blanket. Sorry, put that back now. Skis, and more skis. We'll talk about the SkyMule here in a minute. If you watched my last video, you know what I did, but we'll talk about that. In the order from Hobby King, I also had another set of skis, but this time they're on board the T28. These are the Durafly skis that are used on the SkyMule. I did reverse the front on the nose, and the rationale there was by reversing it doesn't pivot up. It pivots back, which might not be great on landing, but it prevents it from coming up into the prop, because I do run a Durafly prop, which is a little bigger than the Park Zone prop, and now I won't have any issues. And I have another plane that does go skiing, as well as I've got my little cub up there that is looking forward to getting out and having some fun with. Now, the SkyMule. Oh, my big SkyMule. So, if you watch the video, you will know that the right wing struck a post, a football upright, and tumbled out of the air, knocking this nacelle right off, doing some surface scratches to the wing with the prop, and a few other little nicks and dings. The canopy took a hit. But for a plane that basically tumbled out of the air, as you'll see in the video, I had to set up my Turnigy HD action camera at the bottom of the field, and I was trying to do some flybys and just misjudged the post just by that much, and just popped her out of the air, and it tumbled and hit the deck. The front ski mount took a hit, so I filled that up with glue. I used some CA and then I put some hot glue inside of it. If it fails, I'll swap it out for the T-28's one now that I've got that, since it's a little lighter of an aircraft. But, I mean, it came back together. I'm going to refly it this weekend, and if everything goes well, I want to do another flyby style where we land in the snow, because this thing was phenomenal coming in for approaches and landing in the snow. Snow would kick up and everything, so I was really upset I didn't get the video. You know, and my poor little, the little wing cam, it flew off and everything, but the card had run out, so I didn't get any video of the crash. You just saw it from the point of view of the little camera. So, there we go. I'm really impressed with this airplane as far as its durability, so props to Durafly and Hobby King. Again, SkyMule is one of my favorite wintertime planes, and I'm going to see a lot of flying with it. I can't wait to get some extra batteries, so you know, I've got 4 big 4000s right now, and a couple extra would be really nice just to extend the flying day if I do get out. But this plane is going to see a lot of action over the winter, very certain of that, because it just it handles itself really well, and in the elements we fly in, we're going to be wanting to stay fly something with my mitts and everything. Whoops. Speaking of flying in the winter, I was at the store the other day, and one of the topics is always how do we keep our batteries nice and, you know, warm in the winter. One of the guys in the field uses a disposable foam cooler, and I couldn't find one. So, 10 bucks. Picked up a cooler, and the nice thing about this thing is it's got a little port on the top so I can reach in and grab my batteries. I use a little dollar store bin, a little $2 bin to hold the batteries into, so then I can cycle through my, you know, various, you know, what have been used recently and keep the cycle fresh. And then I'll put a heated gel pack on the side, a little thermometer, and voila, I've got you know, a heated pack for my batteries. So that'll be nice. Don't need it quite yet because tomorrow's temperatures for flying will be about -6 and the winds will be really low Celsius. So that should be okay, but on really, really cold days, I will be monitoring them and trying to keep them happy. Another thing I picked up in the orders from Hobby King was an adjustable alarm, and I want to run this on a couple airplanes because I was flying the T-28 with a pack that was low, and I puffed it just enough to make the battery, to make me worried about the battery's condition. I do have another one, but this one only goes off at 3.3 volts, so this one I can set for 3.8, and even I just hear a blast when I'm throttling up or something like that, I know that, okay, either my timer, especially in the cold temperatures, because if the battery's performance drops or stuff like that, now I know I have it's another layer of backup. When I fly FPV and everything, I've got my OSD to tell me how the battery's looking, and even on the tricopter or the quad, the KK board has got its alarm on it. So just another thing, cheap. I'll put a link into it at the bottom of the description, but nice piece of equipment to have, especially if you start buying more batteries. You know, $15 batteries, $20 batteries. Well, you know, you want to be careful with that. So this weekend, I'm going to try and get out and fly skis, do some FPV. I haven't even had a chance to test that little SkyZone Mini 200-watt transmitter yet. It's just been so darn busy. So hopefully this weekend pans out. If we can get out there and do some FPV and have some good times, I will be a very happy pilot. See you out there.